I guess I nigga dudes. What's good? What's good? What's good? You take these earphones off. I was editing a video, and I always do it with earplugs, so I always forget to take them out. Hello, hello, hello. Rue, Rue the empath introvert. Hello, that's a pretty cool name. Mary Goodman, how you doing? Um, it says good evening. It's very nice to listen to your videos. Great words of wisdom. Great job. I appreciate you. Thank you, the Canadian girl. Hello. Uh, hey Marie. Maria Renee, Michelle, how are you? I'm great. I'm great. It's been a very, very, very long week. London in the house. What's going on? It's been a really long week. I've been running on fumes all week. I hope to get some sleep this weekend, but it's not the time to sleep. Um, Damn, I'm pouring in quick. Greetings from Switzerland. How you doing, Switzerland? Let me see. You getting right into it, Nikki K. I see it. Said this guy I've been talking to never seemed like he cared about me, so I dropped him. Then he cared. What's that mean? It means he was probably conflicted, or he thought he had more time, or he thought he had more leverage. A lot of times, guys act like they don't care, and they're trying to play the game like they don't care, or pretend to give you the minimal effort game because they think they have leverage, and they think that it'll help you stay engaged. But when you drop them, sometimes they panic because their tactic didn't work. That's how you know a guy is employing a tactic when he drops it immediately when you give him some resistance. So he was trying to pretend to be more in control than he was. What's going on? What's going on? Man, I'm great. I'm great. Man, I love you back. Let me see. Somebody said, I'm ready for the word, Kev, like we in church. Um, from Maryland. What's going on? Connecticut. Please guide us from our own mistakes. I don't know. Some people need guidance. Other people just come here for agreement. Everybody. People come here for different reasons. Somebody say, Gigi says, "Did you get my question?" Maybe. Are you talking about this live or another live or an email that you sent? I wouldn't know. Um, and just to let people know, for anybody who writes me on Facebook, I don't use Messenger. I know I don't get a lot on Facebook because I just really started promoting my channel on Facebook, and I've really only done it a few times. But for the 400 or 500 people who see my stuff on Facebook, excuse me, I do get a few Facebook messages, a day or a week. I can't pick up in Messenger as a medium. I already have Instagram. I'm watching. I have website emails coming left and right. I have people still Gmailing me that I'm trying to get that to go away. So I'm doing my best to keep on top of the messages. I can't add like Facebook Messenger to it because I already have WhatsApp and text messages from my clients, and so I don't do a whole lot of Facebook. So if you do write me on Facebook, you might as well copy and paste that into like an Instagram account. Um, okay, what's going on over here? All right. So we're gonna jump right into these questions. Hope everybody's having a good night. Let me see. Somebody said I told this guy I like him because I thought he likes me. And told me if he's interested. He said he will tell me, but don't count on anything. What do I do? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what you were. I told this guy that I like him because I thought he likes me. Got it. Uh, and told him if he's interested. Okay, he said he'll let you know, but don't count on it. Well, you don't do nothing. You back away. Let that dude do his own thing. He's not very enthused about talking to you, or he's giving you such a minimal effort that he's just disregarding your emotions. So don't worry about it. Just find somebody else. It's never worth trying to change a guy's mind. If a guy rejects you, just let it go. Let him do his thing. Separate yourself. A lot of times, if a guy's employing a tactic, like I said, and he rejects you, he's gonna change course anyway. Hold on. Somebody said, "Come on, let's go on with the great advice." Y'all ready, Mighty in the building? Hold on. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, somebody said, how long does it take? How long does it take a man to shit? Just keep moving. How long does it take a man to know you're the woman he wants to date, court, and then marry? A guy can be dating you for a while and not be sure about marriage because of his own inhibitions about commitment, especially long-term commitment. So that's very difficult. But as far as a guy knowing that he wants to date you, it shouldn't take much more than a couple of months. I never understand when girls allow guys to date them for a year. I speak to women all the time who date a guy for 9 months, a year, and this is a fully active sexual relationship. She's spending all her available time. She still don't know where he is, don't know what he does for a living, don't know where he works, but somehow or another, she's asking or wondering why he hasn't committed to her. But it's like he has the benefits and the situation of a real relationship. He like then nothing would distinguish what they have from a real relationship outside of the title. So he has no real benefit to obligating himself by giving her a title because she's given him the whole relationship. She's given him everything she would have to offer in a relationship. And so, yeah, it's been 9 months, it's been 14 months, it's been 2 years because he has nothing else to gain but obligation and responsibility to you emotionally if he were to give you the title. And as long as you're not taking a title, you don't require a title or a commitment, he's not going to give you one. So some of y'all jumped the gun. Um, let me make sure my sound's on so my moderator can get through to me because I usually have my sound off. Let me see. My bad, ain't there? My sound be off. I don't be knowing what's going on. So somebody said, when should you tell a guy how you feel? Just if and when you want a commitment. Um, it depends on the circumstances that surround a relationship. It depends on the dynamic of the relationship. It depends on how much time you spend together, how often you talk during this relationship. Sometimes women think they have developed a relationship because you text a guy a lot, but like I said, and I say all the time, uh, y'all don't really get very far with text messaging. Like you can text message a person all day and have only had really like a 30-minute conversation, that would have been on the phone or in person. So sometimes women text guys for a month and think, okay, well maybe it's time to figure out where we are now. If he wants me now, if we're gonna get a commitment now, it's like y'all really don't know each other yet. And so it depends on how much time you're spending in person, how much time you're spending talking and getting to know each other, and that is all situational. So that's very difficult to answer, but if you ask me personally, if you Instagram me something, 150 words or less, I can answer that more specific to your situation. Mm. Somebody said, I lose interest quickly. How do I stay interested? Um, Man, I don't know why. I don't have all the answers. I'm not sure why you lose interest to begin with. I'm not sure who you're dating. That doesn't tell me a whole lot about your dating activities that you lose interest quickly. Some people just need variety. Variety is the spice of life, and everybody's not cut out for a commitment, and so that's just that. And sometimes it just might be the type of guy you're dating. Maybe you're not getting the type of guys that keep you interested. Maybe you need a few of those tactics. Maybe you need a guy to stop answering the phone or being as attentive as you'd like him to be. A lot of that stuff keeps women interested. But if you're having trouble keeping interested with a guy, it tells me that either your subconscious focus or your very conscious focus just isn't on the things that sustain a relationship. You're not looking for a sustained relationship. You're looking for fun. You're looking for excitement. You're looking for sparks. And all of those things are great. But if you ever want a healthy relationship, uh, first of all, you're gonna have to pick your attention span up. Second of all, you're gonna have to probably start taking advantage of or not taking advantage of, but taking notice of things that don't disappear overnight, that interests that don't disappear overnight, qualities that you won't just lose faith in overnight. You might just be chasing a spark instead of chasing stable men who can offer you stable relationships. But again, it sounds boring, and maybe you're just not the person for stable relationships. I don't have all the answers. I'm not the wizard. Sorry. Somebody said somebody said met a guy 3 weeks ago on vacation. We exchanged numbers and we communicate daily. He's very consistent and it seems very interested. What are some signs that he could or want to get serious? I don't know. It's been 3 weeks and you haven't spent a lot of time in each other's presence. And I think that before you even obligate yourself, uh, or to a relationship or the idea of a relationship, before you start talking relationship with the person, you need to be spending time with them on a daily basis instead of or at least every other day or a few days a week. It doesn't sound like you've really met up with them yet. You met him on vacation, but you haven't continued that. And so if it's a long distance relationship, that's going to be a more difficult thing to develop anyway, just because some people don't want to get in a long distance relationship. You met him on vacation and he lives where you were vacationing. It, that's going to be very difficult. And we all know about how difficult long distance relationships are. So it might be a while. You might need to really connect with him for a long time before it's even worth trying to establish a commitment. Because a man that doesn't love you and doesn't have to see you every day is more likely to, fall on the wayside or fall by the wayside than a man who has to see you. Damn, that was loud. Okay. Like I said, than a man who has to see you on a daily basis. So just establish the connection if it's a long distance relationship. Establish the friendship first, because that's what holds your relationship together when sex is impossible and physical gratification is impossible. But I don't know if that's a long distance relationship. You didn't say so. Um, Let me see. Somebody said, "Why guys see you WYD? What you doing? Or are you off or working?" With no effing follow up with a plan. I think that a lot of times those guys are used to the woman jumping at the opportunity to text with them. So a guy texts you a lazy ass, "What you doing?" text, or something like that, and then you're supposed to jump at it and figure out how to entertain him. And it's just part of it's kind of part of the minimal effort game, And again, some guys are minimalist. Period. They just minimal dudes that they're lazy in every way. Um, but other guys just don't have a clue about how to entertain a woman, so they say that because they literally don't know what else to say. They don't have communication skills, and so it just depends. You have to figure out which one of those reasons it is. If you're dating a guy who's only trying to jog your attention and get your attention, and then give you an opportunity to entertain him, I wouldn't bite on it because it sets a bad precedent for him laying back and watching you work. Uh, but if it's a guy who just sucks at communicating because he's a bit nervous, he doesn't know what else to say, and he thinks that that's okay and that's cool, you have to figure that out. But never give up your leverage trying to entertain a guy who's not giving you any effort. Um, Somebody said, "Good evening. Do men feel like they have nothing to offer a woman with children? I have no children, but and been told that I can't make a man feel needed because of that." What? Hold on. I'm gonna read that again. She said, "Do men feel like they have nothing to offer a woman with no children? I have no children and been told that I can't make a man feel needed because of that." So, Tahisha Rose, somebody gave you some effed up advice. That advice is useless. That advice is trash. I don't know who told you that, but somebody was tripping. Men aren't looking to come raise another man's kids. Definitely isn't the dream or the fantasy that men have. Um, uh, I don't know one guy who's looking forward to, like. I mean, I've known guys that don't have kids and always wanted kids and are open to a single mom and raising another guy's kid, given that the relationship is steady and that works first. But I don't know a guy who really finds value, like the most important value of his relationship being whether or not she has another guy's kid that he can raise. That's just not how men work. Men aren't running around here trying to raise nobody else's babies. Good men do, but they don't. That's not what they're. That's not your sales point. You have some other guy's baby, so I need you as a father, and it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to be a dad. I want to be a dad. No, no. If you find they want to hit it, They realize that you're a beautiful woman. You have more to offer than that. Guess what? You got a kid. They want to keep hitting it. They want to keep spending time with you. They're going to start being nice to your kids, and ultimately they fall in love with your kids. But it is not the other way around. And don't let nobody trick you out of your position by telling you you need to go have some babies so that men will take you. Because single mothers have a very hard time selecting men, especially if you care about your kids. It makes dating all the more difficult because now you got to find a quality man that can give your kids a quality experience and doesn't negatively affect their life's trajectory. Um, okay, I can't keep up with all these. It's a lot. She said, after 12 years of marriage, we separated for a year. We got back together, and my husband, who also dated, found out I was dating as well. Now he goes back and forth on getting a divorce. Do I stay? Uh, uh, I don't know your husband, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure why y'all separated. Um, like I'd have to know more about your relationship, and so I would like you to Instagram me, put a bunch of stars in the top two rows, and try to keep it short enough, but a little bit longer than that question because I don't know enough about your relationship to tell you to stay or go or leave your ex-husband or go back with him. Baby doll 2019. I appreciate your super chat. She gave me $3.99. She said, "Will an ex get jealous if you get hotter? If you get hotter with a hotter dude?" Exes are generally jealous to begin with. I think exes are normally jealous anytime you start over before they do. It don't even take a hotter dude. If you just move on and he knows somebody's sweating on top of you and he ain't sweating on top of you anymore, he's gonna be jealous. It doesn't take very much at all, especially if you're the one that ended the relationship. Now, if you're trying to make him jealous, something tells me that he might have squandered the opportunity or maybe ended the relationship. In that case, I don't know. If he doesn't care about you at all, he might not be jealous. But odds are, even if he broke it off with you, if you seem to be happy and you seem to have moved on with a guy that he can't compete with in one way or another, he probably is going to be a bit jealous. Whether or not he acts on it, says anything, acknowledges it out at all, is a whole nother story. But generally speaking, after a breakup, two people are going to be jealous of each other until they really get peace about being separate and moving on with their lives. Somebody said, how am I supposed to handle a guy's that's sweet but not attractive and can't afford to date me? If he can't afford you, if he can't afford the cost of admission, then damn it, it ain't for him. I think you already understand what your values are, and like I said, what you require. So if you know the lifestyle that you want to live, and just not on no ghost, I'm not alluding to like no gold digger stuff, but just like if you know the lifestyle you want to live requires him to make, let's get over $1,000 bi-weekly, and he makes 700, and he got bills to pay, and he's broke, and he's doing bad with his 700, like he can't afford you, and sometimes you just have to break it down like that. Like, it's okay if you require a guy to have some money in his pocket. I don't think it's honorable to require or make that the top requirement. There should be something else under there. But yeah, it's completely okay if you require a guy to have some paper in his pocket. If he don't got it, he don't got it. He's nice, but you said, damn, he's nice, but he's not attractive, and he ain't got no money. So you got to pick a struggle. You can't be. Let me see. You can't be like unattractive and broke. And then try to get like you got to pick a struggle, and you're not obligated to date a guy because he's nice. I just don't believe in that. I think that they're nice guys, they're quality people, but you don't have to date no man just because he's nice. He has to have something else to pull you in. Let me see. Somebody said, I've heard guys say, I want a woman who is complete and so confident that she doesn't even need my validation. Then they get upset when you don't need them. What do guys really want? What do guys really want? I think that you're confusing what guys are attracted to with what guys need. You said, I want a woman. You said guys say they want a woman who's so complete and confident that she doesn't need his validation. His validation and him are two different things. A guy doesn't want you to need his validation. He wants you to feel confident. He doesn't want to answer the, do I look fat in this dress? every 5 seconds question. Like that's not what he wants. He doesn't want you to need his physical validation at all times, because that gets it gets pretty tiring. It's too much. It's annoying, to be honest, quite frankly. But a guy wants to feel needed, right? Women want to feel wanted. Guys need to feel needed. And yeah, you might not need his validation, but you still should need his strength. You still should need his might. You still should need it. In some ways, his leadership, his masculinity, like his overall manliness. Like, a guy still wants you to need him. He just doesn't want you to need his validation. He doesn't want you to need his opinion over everything. Um, so I think you're confusing the two. You're conflating them together when they're two separate ideas, and so that's what's going on. No, a guy doesn't want you to need his validation, because it gets a bit annoying, especially if you're one who seeks validation constantly. It's too much. But they damn sure want you to need them, like as people, right? Emotionally supporting them, or emotionally they want to support you. They want to be your rock. They want to be your protector. They might want to be your provider. They want to do a lot of things for you that men are supposed to do, but they just don't want to have to kiss your ass and tell you you look nice every 5 minutes. Somebody said, when a man has anger issues, can he change? And how and what does he need to become better? When a man has anger issues, can he change? Yeah, people can change. It's not the most naturally occurring process, though. A lot of times change is caused by a dire need to change. You know, if you're looking at some jail time, you're gonna do this community service, you're gonna do this anger management, or you're going to jail. If you don't change, if you don't keep control of your anger, I'm gonna leave you. I never talk to you again. You're gonna lose your kids. You're gonna lose custody. You know, the guy might change. Most of the time, being uncomfortable and pain and discomfort is what causes people to change. If you just want a guy to change for the hell of it because you want him to change, if he hasn't felt the pain of his own actions, if he hasn't felt the repercussions to the degree that he wants to change, it's him presenting the change ideas and him attempting to make these changes for his future. If it's just you wanting him to change, it's not going to happen. So a guy can tell you, oh yeah, I'm going to change, I'm going to change, I'm going to change. If it's not coming from within, then no, he's not going to change. And if he has anger issues, then he might not even realize what's wrong with him, because usually people with anger issues look outward first. They blame outward first. So I don't know if I know a person that's angry that looks at themselves and says, you know, it's always, they did this and so to me. They did this to me. They didn't do this for me. They wasn't there for me. So angry people sometimes, if that's the case with him, he might need to learn how to look in the mirror and blame himself for many of the things that he's encountering, because the biggest issue I've seen with angry people is that they haven't taken responsibility for the part that they play in their own life, especially as it pertains to their relationships. Let me see. Somebody says, does the no contact rule work on a guy that was pursuing you then stopped? No. You need leverage to do the no contact. You don't have leverage if a guy is not interested in you at all. Like, if a guy's not interested in you and you go no contact, you just got out of his damn way, and that's what he wanted. He just wanted you out of his way, and you went away. So, you know, thank you. That's how he feels. He's not looking. These motherfuckers, these motorcycle people, man. He's not looking to. He's not looking to be changed by you. He's not looking to be convinced. If a guy has just walked away from you, you do no contact. You're doing him the biggest favor, because at least he can walk away without guilt. You know, or he walks away with a little guilt, but no obligation to pretend to care. So that's kind of where it's at with that. Leave a guy alone. If he's rejecting you, let him reject you. Take the L and move on. Don't humiliate yourself trying to convince him otherwise, because it's not going to work. If a man is determined that he's not attracted enough to you to figure out what else you have to offer, then you just need to move on. I got an email from a woman pretty recently, and it was her whole point was, I'm begging this man, I'm pleading with this man, I'm doing everything, and he won't have me. What can I do? Not a damn thing. Get your damn life together and stop chasing this clown. That's what you should do. And why are you wasting your life chasing somebody who's telling you they don't want you, and who's ruining your life in the process? Just have more pride than that. Women hate guys. They say, the guys don't care about nothing. Guys are dogs. Guys are this. Guys are that. They selfish. Y'all need to take a cue from guys. Guys protect themselves, and they do a much better job than women in many instances, because they never lose sight of their sense of self-preservation, and they hardly ever, rare types of men, rare types of personality types, but they hardly ever sacrifice their responsibility to protect themselves. Right? They always protect themselves, and then they start talking to people, or they indulge in other things, but they never lose sight of self-preservation ever. And women could do a lot for themselves if they were to pick that up as a habit, in large part, in large scale. Somebody said, I already read that one. Somebody said, how about if you're dating a guy who seems to be dating more than one people, but seems to want a relationship, but don't know what he wants? Okay, so it sounds like another ambiguous situation where a guy's moving around and he's saying you don't know what he wants, but you want him, and you're trying to get him to figure it out. You can't get a guy to figure it out. If he's stuck between two or three women, don't start competing. Don't try to. No, it's not like a triathlon or a race. You don't pick up the head, pick up the sex, pick up the favors, pick up the brownie cooking, and all this shit, and try to beat those other women that he's talking to because he says he doesn't know what he wants. When a guy says he doesn't know what he wants, he's saying, I don't really want you at the moment either, but we're going to entertain each other for a while. Especially if he's dating multiple women. I don't know is interesting, because if you just take I don't off, no, and I know there's KNOW versus NO, but the damn thing, it's the same. Usually people say I don't know when the answer is just no. And some of y'all just got to start respecting that, or accepting that for yourselves. Don't let a dude keep telling you I don't know for 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, 12 months, 13 months. It's like, he knows what he wants, and it just ain't you. He's looking for it. That's why he's still dating. That's why he's still moving around in these streets. He's looking for what he wants, and you're just not it. And so, don't play yourselves out here trying to figure out how to change a guy's mind. That's not something that you should waste your time doing, and it just kills your self-esteem in the long run. Somebody said, Kev, let me tell you, you have helped me out in this tough time in my life. I really like your advice. I'm glad you're helping people out. God bless you and your family, more of it. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm glad I'm helping you. Let me scroll down to the bottom. And I know I got some more moderator comments. Y'all got to the questions quick today. Let's see. Somebody said, why do guys start off good, seeing you, communicating, etc., rope you in, and then get lazy? I think sometimes it takes so long for a guy to realize that he has a chance, that he gets a bit bored, he burns himself out. I know a lot of y'all don't watch boxing, but it's like if a guy punches himself out in the first couple rounds trying to get the knockout. After he's done so much, he's tired, he's exhausted, he's winded, he's weary, and he's just irritated that his knockout hadn't happened. Shared it. Maybe he wasn't overtly responsive to their whims, and so. Once you get to a place where you're like, okay, I like you, they're just wheezing in the corner. They're done. They're out of breath, and they've lost their fire because they feel like it's been a one-sided fight so far, or a one-sided relationship. And a lot of times they move on to somebody who's doing more to keep them engaged, because women forget that even though a guy is working and he's moving, they need engagement too. And if you're not engaging with the guy at the same time he's chasing you, even though he's chasing you, he still needs something to chase. He still needs enough entertainment to keep coming forward. So that's one of those things that you need to always be aware of, that guys also need a stimulant in a relationship. Somebody said, me and my boyfriend have almost 3 years together and we're not engaged, but and we're not engaged, but should we move in together before the ring? He does tell me that he only wants me. Uh, we're together every day, but don't live together. So you said you've been together almost 3 years, not engaged, and you want to know if you should move in. Well, I can only tell you what I do, or what I've done. I moved in with my woman after 6 months, and I don't think moving in and the Christian folk gonna be having a fit. I feel you. Y'all do y'all thing. Again, BYNC dating stories is Christian advice. Y'all can go over there and get all the biblical, holy, godly advice y'all want to. I'm just gonna do my thing over here, and with love though. But I don't believe that you need to wait 3 years to move in with a person, and I think that you should absolutely probably move in with a person before you marry them if you're already having all the adulterous sex, or the sinful sex. If you're gonna be shacking up and having the same sex you was having when you lived down the street, what's the point, right? I'm not even gonna get into shacking up. It's actually not in the Bible. It's nowhere in the Bible. That's a made up scripture. People just literally made it up. Google shacking up. I bet y'all can't find it. I got about another hour here. Y'all won't be able to find it. But anyway, um, if you want to know if you guys have a chance, or if at least have enough chemistry or agreement within your relationship, I think it's good enough to move in with each other. Y'all been together for 3 years. I personally was with my wife. I moved in with her 6 months after our relationship. That's a little quick for some people, but we were in a good spot. Now I don't believe that you should base whether or not you marry him on if y'all get along. I think that you should be sure of your relationship before you move in, before you get married. But at the same time, I don't think that moving in is going to be something that would hurt. I think it could only help give you a bit more perspective on if you're really compatible, because you'll spend more time with that person. So it's just not about, he washed the dishes, you clean the floors, this, that, or that. It's really about if your energies mesh well, spending extended periods of time together. If you can get along, if, when challenged by you and he can't escape, does he still respect you? Is he always gentle, when he doesn't have another option? If he feels backed in the corner, is he still nurturing? Does he love you when he's angry? Those things. You learn that stuff when you live with a person. Some of that stuff you don't learn until you get with a person, because you always have an escape route. You get upset, you just go. You pretend you had some shit to do, and you just ride out. And so, stable relationships happen when two people who can't escape each other can somehow still love each other on a consistent basis. I said a lot to say a little, didn't I? Uh, that's what's up. Let me see. Yeah, it don't stay, but shacking up, y'all. I ain't even gonna get into it. Listen, I've looked and looked and looked and looked for shacking up. It ain't there. Um, say something. It ain't there. But I ain't here to argue with y'all about the Bible. Y'all can do that in y'all Sunday morning. Um, Somebody said, how do you tell a high quality man who is very good to you that you want more TLC, a little mushy love and adoration type of talk, without sounding unappreciative of him, or as if you're complaining? I'm not sure that how you sound is up to you. Sometimes you can say the most nice, or you can say a thing, whatever it is, the most nice and most gentle way possible. And if you're dealing with a person with a fragile ego, or a person who refuses to take responsibility for their inadequacies, they're going to see it as complaining. There's almost nothing you can do. And so, depending on the maturity level of your man, you might get a situation where everything's completely fine. He understands exactly where you're coming from, and you don't even have to say it that nice. But you could have a guy that just can't take any bad news or any corrective criticism. So I don't know your man, uh, but as far as how you do it, that depends very heavily on how he receives information. How he deals with adversity, how he responds to things. Some men like to be challenged. Some people like they accept a challenge. Like they want their bad news in a direct way, and they want you to challenge them to be better. Aggressively. Hold on. I thought I was going to sneeze. And then other people, you have to finesse them with the truth. You have to finesse them with your corrections, because they don't need to know they're being corrected. If they figure out that you're correcting them, then they're going to get irritated and shut down. So because there are so many different personality types, I just can't blanket tell you how to break the bad news to a man, because I don't know what kind of man you go home to. Let me see. Somebody said, I have a question. The president of a company I work for always personally greets me, and he is touchy feely. Not in any appropriate body parts, but he only kind of touches my arms. I don't think you asked the question, but I'm assuming you asking if it means he's into you. I don't know. Some guys are just touchy feely, and other guys are a bit creepy. So I don't know enough about why he's touching you, or how much smiling in his face you're doing to be touched. Sensible socialite, thank you for your $2 super chat. I appreciate the love. You always coming through with the love. She said, just showing support. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see. I want to make sure I hit on my moderators' comments. I think I got 2 other comments. Cool. Somebody says, I support your channel. I appreciate that. Somebody, this is an interesting one. Latifa John. Well, I don't know if it's interesting. I haven't read it. She said, I have trouble talking to guys I like. I want to know how to talk to guys, like how to keep the convo going and keep them interested, because guys seem to lose interest in me quickly, and I don't know why. If you're freezing in conversation, that's why. What I used to do when I was really nervous about talking to somebody, and you mentioned it, you said you have trouble talking to guys you like. Obviously, I like to talk. I'm a conversationalist. I'm an intellectual. I can talk. Talking isn't an issue for me, but I have to be comfortable, right? I'm completely comfortable talking to all 200 of y'all. Same person with one crush, it's very difficult to figure out how to move from one subject to another in conversation. It can be anyway. So I remember when I was much younger, when I would date a woman, and she would make me nervous to the degree that I couldn't talk to her, or I was having trouble flowing through the conversation seamlessly. I would write notes down before I would get on the phone with her. And I would take notes while I was on the phone with her. And so I always had a reference of something she said. I didn't forget anything. I didn't forget the things she liked, the things she was impressed by, the things she wanted to talk about, the things she responded most well to. Whatever her passions were, I took notes when I was on the phone with a woman, and then I wrote notes before, so that I would and it wasn't like I was writing down every word, but I would give myself, 20 or 30 different things to mention, and that would lead us to potentially 20 or 30 different conversation ways. And that way, if for whatever reason one bullet point just fell on deaf ears, and she really wasn't messing with that one, wasn't talking about that one, we can go to the next thing. And I always had at least another subject matter that I could bring up. And it was just about having a subject matter to bring up, because when you blanking out, you don't know what to talk about. But if you like somebody, you need to have a reference, because you got to keep that conversation going. Eventually you get really comfortable with a person. You have a couple of successful conversations, and you just enjoy yourself after that. It got to the point to where, after one successful conversation, I didn't need the notes anymore, but I just needed to have that one really nice conversation where, I had a reference to what I could talk about. And once I got used to talking to that person, and it felt natural, and it felt like I was invited to speak about things with them, then I didn't need it anymore. But that nervousness, that trepidation will get in your way. And if it does, just bring a notebook to the phone next to you, and just make sure that, you're hitting them bullet points, and you're attacking different conversations so that you can keep them interested, because nobody likes to be bored on the phone with somebody, but you can't help it if you're nervous. Somebody said, question, why is it when I go out with him, he's aggressively rough, touchy feely, and when I tell him